Harvey was saying, this is the start of our final division today in the Red Brahman show. This will be our class 20. These are your early senior yearling heifers, 1st of November of 2019 to the 31st of December 2019. This is class 20.
this class with a real powerful heifer, a heifer that's really big and bold in her top and her loin. You stand over the top of her and she's got a great big hip in her. A female that you stand behind her and she's got lots of turn and shape to her rib and get really deep in her heart. And I love that depth that she brings all the way through. She keeps it together in a pretty nice package. I like the red Brahman breed character. You know, probably smooth her up in her shoulder just a hair, but other than that, I think she's a pretty powerful one. Next one we've got is a real complete one that's super feminine in terms of some of the others in the class. I like the femininity. I love the angle to her shoulder and how smooth she is in her shoulder. A female that can really travel when you set her into motion. Probably not as stout when you look at her and compare her to the heifer ahead of her, but I do like that overall functionality. Heifer we've got next is another one of those big-topped heifers, big-ended heifers that's got some capacity to her. She's going to get a little bulky up front for my taste. I'd like to smooth her up in her shoulder a little bit, but boy, look at that big loin that she has on her and that big long hip that she brings to us. Light-colored one that comes next. You love the volume and capacity. You'd probably like to give her a hair more pigment and probably dress her up in her teat structure just a little bit more. But man, she's got a lot of volume and growth. If you need one for that, she can sure do it. Then we round out the class with some heifers that get a little heavy in their condition, but a little frailer in their bone work. Probably like to stouten them up in terms of that. But nice class overall.
Thank you very much. And here are your results out of Class 20. First goes to entry 1879, Walters Livestock entry Walters Blake Rojo. Second goes to entry 1615, Raywood Carlin, owner, Paradise Islands, exhibiting with Paradise Islands Miss Davina of Kaplan, Texas. Third went to entry 1519, Razorback Farms of Buffalo, Texas. Fourth went to entry 1546, Brahman Claire Fontenot, your owner of Ville Platte.
Good.
Fifth went to entry.
Okay, everybody, while they're finishing up with that class placing, I will catch up here in a little bit. I'm here with one of my faves. I always love taking photos of Jay Lee rushing. I always love it when my girls do it. You guys do just such, they do a great job taking photos, don't they? The girls do just such a good job. The photos are amazing. Anyway, but you are amazing. You're amazing in the ring. You're amazing showing. You know I'm a big fan. And today, how did that feel? You were reserve intermediate champion in the grays. I mean, biggest kind of divisions in Houston, and you're on the green shavings, so tell us about it.
It was definitely exciting and very, very different. Something that I haven't experienced before, but it was definitely one to remember.
So I want you to know, and I'm sure you know the story about Apple. So I was there when Casey was like, do I sell her? Do I not? I'm not so sure. I just love this heifer. We named her that day before the online sale. I was in the pen with her. We're videoing, we're taking photos of her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Casey, that is so special. She is such a special female. And Casey's like, sometimes you just gotta let the best ones go. And then you guys got her out of that online sale, and it has been Katie barred the door. You have won, have you not?
Yes, that is very true. We actually saw her post the sale on Facebook, and within that week we were up there.
Yeah, and you saw her, and there you go. We took the photos. She was best cattle sales, and you guys were smart enough to snatch up that apple.
Yes.
And boy, she has taken you for a great ride, and she has a lot of future ahead of her. She's just an intermediate.
She sure does.
Yep.
Which will be fun to see.
Oh, absolutely. And you've just been showing. You showed in San Antonio. You did really well there. I mean, I just have followed you guys, and it is so much fun, especially when we started out so young. So have you ever had a championship on the green shavings in the open Brahman show?
No, I have not. This will be the first.
This will be the first. Oh my gosh, so exciting. So we're going to let Jay Lee go because she's got to go get ready for that reserve Grand Champion drive, so she won't be up for consideration for the Grand Championship because she was a reserve division, but she is definitely in contention for that reserve Grand Champion. Good luck to you. We're rooting for you and Apple, okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay, now remember, we already have all the photos up on our Instagram page. So you go watch our Instagram, and then we'll be posting them up on Facebook. So guys, you're going to be able to see a little bit more of Jay Lee later on today.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Jay Lee. Thanks, Jay Lee. Appreciate it. class number, the very first class of the red senior division, very first class. We had Walters Blake Rojo was first in class number 20. That was an SRS Bernardo 100 daughter out of Lady H. Alicia Manso. And in second was the Paradise Islands Miss Trixie. That is a Maximus daughter, WCC Maximus, out of CT Lady Noble Rojo. Now in the class number 21. Class number 21. Looks like we're down to the top 3 is what it looks like. Okay, we have 3. Nope, I'm sorry. We're still walking them. Okay, we are still walking the cattle. We're just moving along, and he's just starting to pull. So it'll be a little while, and I think that all these photos the girls are doing are great, and we can definitely put all of those up on Instagram. Alrighty, so have they shown the gray class 20? No, Nathan, but we're getting ready to. We're really, really close. So, let's see. No, they haven't, but getting close. If somebody can let Tim know that we are getting very close, very, very close to that, okay? Because right now, Nathan, we are on the reds. So because we are on the reds, that means, let me see, we have like a little bit of lag going on here, or I do, 1 or 2. Alrighty, there we go. I'm back live again. All right, sorry about that. I got myself a little lost, but I have found myself again. So, right now we are on class. Perfect. Thank you, ladies. Letting them know we are getting close. We have to get through the red classes, and then we will go into the gray.
This was a pretty easy one. A red Brahman female that sure looks like a red Brahman female. I love the character, head and neck on this heifer, great hump. Love the overall capacity that she has, and she gets out and travels extremely nicely. She's got just the right amount of slope for me to her hind end. Probably dress her up in her teats just a little bit, maybe a little bit in her underline, but man, there's a lot of cow there. Congratulations. Next heifer we've got now is one of those real strong top heifers that comes out really strong and bold right behind her hump. I do like that hump placement that she has and the way that her head comes right out of the top of her shoulder there. I like that strength at the top and that nice look that she gives us when she stopped, just not quite the overall power as the heifer ahead of her. The next heifer we've got here, really long-sided female, really strong and level down of her top, probably gets a little more bold in her shoulder than I would like to see today to compete any higher. Then the darker red one coming next. I really like that color. I really like the breed character. She gets a little more bunched up front, a little shorter in her neck, a little straighter, more upright in her shoulder, but a really nice heifer that's got some dimension to her down her top and really stout. Next one, we've got a lot of the high volume female that just gets a little too short necked for me, a one that I'd like to dress up right in that front end.
That is one, and for Nathan who is asking, Nathan, what we are doing is we've got to get through these red classes and then we will go to the grays. So we have class 21 is won by number 1854. That is the Swanner Brahman's entry. That's going to be SRS Miss Diva 2/47. She is a Moreno Mr. Rockstar daughter out of BBLP Enchanted Moments. And in second, we have the Elmo daughter out of LB Lady Virginia Manso. That's going to be LB Lady Vivian Manso, and that, of course, is owned and shown by Lindsay Locke. John Coleman Locke is the owner and exhibitor. So, well, I'm sorry. It's exhibited under John Coleman, owned and shown by Lindsay Locke, and bred by Locke Brothers. So, of course, great breeders there. Small amount of reds, but the ones they have there at Locke, they are awesome. Really great. Always love seeing them. Now we have some additions into the catalog, guys, because two animals were left out of the catalog, and they were both Dietering Red Brahman's animals. So if you're in the book, you'll see that it has a Class 22 and a Class 23. You just need to shuffle those in. You will see them in the arena. We're right now entering Class 22. Class 22 is entering the arena as we speak.
1st of May to the 31st of August 2019. This is Class 22.
And remember, we have all of our photos on our Instagram, and we can put up all of our fun photos. Fun photos are good to be on Instagram. So again, this is class number 22 for Nathan, who is watching and wanting to get that class 20 of the grays. Nathan, we're getting close. So class 22 will have that showing. That's in the ring right now. After it's placed, we'll be moving in with class 23. And then, boom, Nathan's class 20, it will be next. Then we'll have those senior champions, then the grand champions. So guys, it is 4:50. We're probably maybe an hour away at the very most from being finished. So we're zooming right along. Brandon Cottrell has been the judge all day, doing a great job, moving along, not too fast, not too slow, really good rhythm. Really, from a spectator standpoint, awesome to watch how he judges in the respect of, oh, thank you, Brianna. Thank you so much. How is the little one doing? Is she watching the show with us and watching her aunt? We wish she could be here, but it's a little bit of a long way. So, but Brandon Cottrell has done, I really love a judge that pulls his bottom and leaves his top. It just gives us, as far as the magazine's concerned, a little bit more time to watch, to get our photos, to make sure we get some good video of those cattle. So kudos to Brandon, great job. It's moved along all day. Think that he's done a great job. I'm sure everyone is really pleased. You know, he's been at a really good pace. Again, like I said, not too fast, not too slow. And we have a shout out for CT Red Bean. Yep, CT Red Bean is in the arena as we speak. We're going to go to a little, oh, wait. Okay, Brianna's telling us that the little one is taking, Miss Rainey Cole is taking a little nap right now, which is okay. I'm sure you probably enjoy that on occasion. But if you have her in front of the screen tomorrow watching the bulls, Brianna, we would love to see her watching the show. We had the little brand new Team Heritage watching the show earlier, and we threw up a photo, so that was a lot of fun. So for those of you who don't know, Brianna is the older sister, just by a touch, of Brandolyn. Brandolyn is the middle daughter, and we are so blessed to have Brandolyn Bishop work with us. She's been with us for years now. Super excited. Always loved seeing her photos. So passionate about what she does, and we've had so many people throughout the barns tell me how awesome she is and how much she really works hard and is so accommodating to everybody when she was helping them with their ads and their signs. So Brianna, I know you're really super proud of your sister. We're going to go to a little music while we're watching the rest.
I'm going to start this class with the one that's crossed the finish line already and done so holding herself together. This is a female that's got lots of capacity to her. She's got some depth of body to her, probably in relation to her frame size. She's not the heaviest muscled, not the heaviest bone, not the longest bodied, but she's extremely complete, she's extremely sound, and she's got a beautiful udder, and she's raising a nice bloomy calf. I like the milk production because of that bloom of that calf, but I like the structure and the way that udder attaches to her right there to her belly, and the way it attaches up high, going back into her rear end. And I just think she's done a nice job getting to where she is. Congratulations. Heifer we've got next, a little more moderate in terms of her frame size, but a heifer that's got a great big old top in her. You stand in behind her, she's got lots of turn and shape to her rib. Probably just doesn't give as much overall extension up front, but she's real nice, and I like that she's not overly fat in relation to some of these others in the class. I think she just gives up a little overall performance as the class winner. And then we've got the great big one coming next. And for my taste, she's too big, and that's why she gets where she is. But boy, she's really nicely designed. She's really nice in her shoulder. She travels well. She's got good breed character. She's just a little too big. Might like to dress her up in in her front 2/4 of her udder as she goes. The next one we've got here is really bold sprung, really big topped, gets a little plainer up around her shoulder and her hump, and I'd like to change that about her. Then we've got the big one, big high volume pair coming next. One that you want to put into motion. She gets a little more restricted in her movement. I'd like to see her just move her freer and easier as she travels, and maybe dress her udder up just a little bit. But I love that breed character, love the strength of top and overall volume that she has. Then we round out the class with some that would just like to give them a little more power, a little more volume, and see what we can do.
Was class 22. We have one more senior class, and then we will be done with the female red show for the day, other than the senior champion drive and the grand champion. But our class winner was Miss H.C. Vera, 110/9, and that was shown by Herzog Cattle. Peyton was the breeder and the owner. Peyton Herzog, of course. That's going to be a Mr. WCC Maximus daughter out of Miss CBR Mademoiselle, who has done just tremendous for them in their program. And of course, CBR Mademoiselle is a Maddox daughter. And then in second, we had CT Miss Red Bean. Everybody knows Red Bean. We had a little Red Bean moment going on there where everyone was doing a shout out for Red Bean. She was second in the class, so she can still come in for reserve consideration. She is CT Miss Red Bean 13/9. That's going to be a DF Mr. Butterbean daughter out of CT Lady Riley Manso, owned by Scanlon Cattle Company and shown by Brandy Barnes. Now we're moving into class number 23. Class number 23.
January of 2019 to 30th of April of 2019. This is class 23.
And Brianna Bishop, I do not blame you. Brianna Bishop Prince, I do not blame you. We know you are proud of Brandolin, who has been in the ring with us all day taking photos. You guys need to go over and watch and look at our Instagram page. They have all the class winners, all the champions up there. We'll be putting those up on our Facebook shortly. We didn't want to bump into our live stream, but we all just think that Brandolin is super special. Of course, we also love the whole team. Just shouting out to all of them. Cannot say enough about the whole team. We have Alyssa in the arena all day, and she's been doing a great job. Of course, we have back at the booth, Casey is helping us out. She's a specialist on some of our projects, and it has been really great to have her on board. We have Mandy back at home. This is like one of her first Houstons to miss, but she has a little one now. She has Mr. HP, and he is 10 months old, I think now, a little over 10 months, and he is super cute, super special. and we're thinking he might be able to allow her to come next year. Emily Otto was planning on being here. She's been with us a really super long time, though they're both really young. Started really young. Emily has been with us for quite a while on Team Brahman Journal, but she again has a young one at home. I think that he's 9 now, maybe 10, I don't know. Years get away from me. And not feeling great, I think, having a little bit of a cold, a little bit of the sniffles, so she ended up staying home. But she has had a great show here with Magic Ranch. That is her family. I know that Emily has a lot to do with that, and so they had some really great results from the all breed sale. So we'll be going over to Magic Ranch, taking some photos, posting that up, and shouting out kudos to Magic Ranch for all that they have won. They've been very consistent, winning a lot of buckles and banners in those all breed sale, performance and beauty all at one time. And then of course Maciel is there in Nicaragua working hard. Julia is back at the office. She couldn't make this Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, but she has been back keeping us all on track. And we have Iran in the arena with me, making sure I don't say anything stupid and turning the mics off and on and making sure all the screens look really good. So really appreciate all that everyone has done for us, and I'm sure we are not a great big huge team, but we are a very passionate team. So make sure you let the team know how much you appreciate all that they do. We'll listen to some music while we watch these last final class of the senior division of our red show. Final class, senior division, red show. Then we'll move into the gray, and then grand, and then champion in the seniors, then grand and reserve, and we will call it a day.
High quality class of big volume heifers, cows that we're evaluating here today. As we think about some of the things that cause us to fall out of the herd in terms of what's going to get us culled or anything like that, failing to breed is going to be one of them. We've all checked that off. Feet and the leg quality and udder quality would be the next two, and that's a big portion, big of the way in how we sorted these cows today. The one that rises to the top is she is definitely the cleanest uddered female. She's one of the soundest when you put her into motion. She's just real nice and complete, super feminine. I really like that about her. She's not the most, she doesn't have the most capacity. She doesn't have the most power, but she is the most complete with the best udder and moves out, and you're going to win this class pretty easily. Congratulations. Really dark cow that we've got coming in next. Boy, if I could dress her udder up a little better, she'd win this class pretty easily as well. I like her design, I like her capacity, I like her muscle, and just looks like a real good, nice red Brahman. But like I said, I'd like to clean her udder up a little bit, clean her navel up a little bit, but I like that red Brahman look that she gives us. Another one that's got a lot of breed character coming next. She's got a lot of volume. She's moderate in her frame size. She's got a lot of good going for her, but she's a little more uneven in her udder than I can accept today. And I think, but there's still a lot of nice things about that one, but we got to watch those udders. Next one we've got, probably not as pretty or as much overall breed character as the ones that precede her. But like we said to her, maybe dress her udder up just a little bit, but you do like that power that she gives us. You like that capacity that she brings to us in terms of the heifers ahead of her. Give her just a little bit more breed character, clean her udder up. We round out the class with one that's a little bit frailer than I would like in terms of comparing her to the ones ahead of her. Just a little bit frailer, and we'd still like to even up her udder as well too. But that's one thing we really have to pay attention to as Brahman breeders is our udder quality. And I think we started the class with one with pretty nice one.
Thank you, Brendan. Here are your results out of class 23.
So in class number 23,
First,
I have a little camera problem, little camera issue there. There we go. Okay, in class number 23, our winner was Miss VF Ray Jude, and she is a CT Mr. Jude Rhino daughter out of Miss WCC Rhonda, and she is owned and shown by Clancy Joe Hebert and Nicholas Bondenstein. Nicholas Bondenstein, said it right, so excited. Clancy Joe Hebert, owned and shown, Nicholas Bondenstein bred, that female. And then in second, we had the DB Southern Style 1/654. That's an RCC Torkson Legacy 426 daughter out of the DB Southern Style 1/342. And so Nathan, just in case you're watching and just in case you're listening, I'm not sure who you're rooting for in here, but class number 20 is walking in the pen. Class number 20 of the Grays. Class number 20 of the Grays is walking in the arena.
And class 20 females are born during November and December of 2019.
We are winding it down, winding it down. Love the photos. I cannot tell you how many great photos our team has taken. They are absolutely amazing. Please, 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 you guys, go and look on our Instagram page. The photos are just stunning that the girls have taken. Brandolyn and Alyssa have worked so very, very hard to take these photos, and they have knocked it out of the park. Really can't say enough. And then please let us know what you're thinking of the photos. We'll be posting all of these photos up throughout the weekend after the show is over. We'll be posting them back onto our Facebook, but they are all on our Instagram, so you can find someone with Instagram. If you don't have it, please go look at them, and please let Alyssa and Brandolyn know what a great job they did, and then please let Iran and Karen from Mexico know how much we appreciate them being here. Of course, Casey and Julia have been like in constant contact helping people with renewing their subscriptions and doing all kinds of things, and Casey has helped me with the show program when we had issues with Houston Livestock Show and Rodeos data pull that we had some problems with. We've spent hours and hours working on that program, and I think it did turn out pretty good. So really, really appreciate it. Oh, and thank you so much. We so appreciate that you think that our photos were beautiful and that the cattle were beautiful and that the judge did a great job too. Thanks guys for all the comments. And then of course, we had Mandy and Maciel. Without them, where would we be? Oh my Lord. Mandy has been Facebooking, commenting, getting numbers from us, rattling our cage when we didn't get her the numbers quick enough. Have you noticed that we've been putting up on the screen what has been winning pretty much in real time, guys? That takes a real team effort. And then of course, Maciel is all over that Instagram. She is plugging it away, getting those photos in the arena. Brandolyn and Alyssa are picking photos in the arena, putting them on their phone, sending them to Maciel. Maciel is then uploading them into our Instagram and making sure that we have the information about who won those classes. So again, my team is amazing. We are Team Brahman Journal, and I just sit around and eat bonbons all day, drink coffee, and they make me look good. So I am really blessed to do what I do. Have all these great Brahman cattle to look at, have the breeders that are passionate about this and who appreciate all that we do. But mainly, I am super blessed to have the team that I have. And we'll go to a little music before I start crying.
top 4 in this class, I think they rise to the top in overall functionality. The 2 we start off with give you a little extra style and design, especially if out through their front ends. One we start out with, yeah, I'd like to probably darken the bottom of her nose or top of her lip just a little bit, but that hump placement is very nice. I like the way it's designed, and it's directly over the top of her shoulders. She's starting to freshen a little bit, getting ready to, as she nears calving and starts to make a nice little udder. But you look down her top, and she's got plenty of muscle, and there's plenty of that heifer right there, and she's a pretty nice one there that puts a lot of good things together. The one we've got next, the darker tinged heifer coming next, heifer that similarly follows the first class winner in terms of overall style and design. However, when you put her into motion, she wants to get a little bit up in her loin as she travels, but I like the udder design, I like the breed character, I like the pigmentation. She's doing a nice job. Then we've got the big outlined heifer coming here next. I really love the expansion there in the center portion of her body. You stand in behind her, she's real open through her chest, through her rib cage. Female that gets a little plainer up front as compared to the 2 heifers that lead out the class, but you love the capacity and the functional design and the udder quality that she brings to us. Same story on this heifer, not quite as big of a package. She gives up a little in terms of overall performance in relation to the heifers ahead of her. I'd like to give her a little more bone, but more. She's really nice design, cleaning her joints and can travel, and she's starting to build a nice little udder. Good job to you. Then we've got a real high-powered, dark pigmented heifer here. You love the muscle, you love the growth, you like the breed character. You set her into motion, she gets a little more rigid off of her hind leg and doesn't quite want to plant down not as nice and neatly as some of these others. But boy, she's got some muscle and she's got some power, and I like that pigmentation as well. Next heifer we've got a really nice designed heifer. I'd like to see her a little further along in gestation as we compare her to her contemporaries all through the class, but I love the design and the femininity that she brings to us today. Then we round out the class with some heifers that have some femininity issues that would probably just like to dress them up a little bit, but a nice class winner, and we'll see how we go.
And we greatly appreciate the overview from our judge here. And first place honors in Class 20 going to entry number 1271 shown by V8 Ranch, owned by Kyle Acosta and V8 Ranch. Their female 255/9. Second in the class goes to 1272 V8 Ranch of Bowling, Texas, female 251/9. Our third place in the class going to 1016, entry from England Cattle Company of Mercedes, Texas, and their female, Madison 360/9. England also had the fourth place. That's Poldora 359/9, owned by Montana Trap.
Place we had in class 20, that was Miss V8 255/9. That's going to be a Mr. V8 146/8 daughter out of Miss V8 997/6. That is bred and exhibited by V8 Ranch, but Kyle Acosta is the owner. And then in second place, we had the Miss V8 251/9, again a 146/8 daughter out of Miss V8 128/7. And that is owned and shown by V8 Ranch. So thank you for those classes, and we will be moving on to Class 21. Class 21.
Mason Whitehead, owner and exhibitor from Sealy, Texas. Ninth in the class to 1030. Exhibited by Ken Ramsey, Brahman. Sherry Harris, the owner from Sealy, Texas. And the 10th placing went to 607. Ashley Clemens, owner and exhibitor from Wayne, Georgia. In your arena at this time, your class 21 females that were born during September and October 2019. 13 head.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I gotta show you.
I'm going to start this class with the female that can really move. She can get out and travel, and long strided female. You get inside of her, she's really nice and balanced. She's got lots of femininity. She's really fresh in her conditioning. She's building a really nice udder up underneath her. I like the way it's starting to attach, the evenness of it, the refinement of teats. She's got some muscle when you look down her top. And you stand in behind her, she's got plenty of thickness. I think she's a pretty complete one that gives you some added style and breed character too. Congratulations. The real white heifer come in here. Little bit, I love the moderation of frame. I love the openness and the capacity that she has, the strength of top that she has. I like that hip design in her. She's building a nice udder as well. I see a real nice cow prospect that she's becoming. A heifer that, as we put her into motion, not quite as long strided up through her front end as the heifer that precedes her, but there's a lot of good in that heifer. Congratulations. Red tinged one coming next. You high volume, raising a nice calf, milking very nicely, but I would like to see that udder to be a little more even. I'd like to fix her there in her mouth just a hair, but if you need one that's got volume, if you need one that's got capacity, here's one for you. Next heifer we've got the heavy muscled heifer. When you view her down her top and stand behind her, probably gets a little off in her balance and not quite as feminine as the heifers that come before. Then we've got one that's coming next that's really refined in her udder and may build in one of the better udders in the class. However, she's a little more refined in her bone work and her muscle work as well as we get her out here. But there's a lot of functionality there, and I see this one lasting a long time and being in production for having a lot of longevity. Then as we round out the class, we run into some conditioning issues, some femininity issues, a few feet and leg issues, and I'd sure like to change those, but I like the class winner that we started with and the good qualities that she combines.
And we greatly appreciate
Okay, guys. So we have, in first, we have the Miss SNS Kiki 15 over 9. SNS Kiki 15 over 9 is a Mr. SNS Mighty Mouse 295 over 6 daughter. Everybody knows the Mighty Mouse bull. He was, I think, reserve grand champion, national. He was our national reserve grand champion, if I remember correctly. And then that female is out of Lady H, Lisa Manso, who has just really knocked it out of the park for so many breeders. Really awesome female. Again, that's that whole team heritage connection. And then Paradise Island's Miss Hannah was second. That's a JDH King of Clubs Manso daughter out of CT Miss Stelly Manso, and that is Paradise Island animal. And of course, on the Miss SNS Kiki 15 over 9, shout out to D-Bar. That is correct. D-Bar Ranch bought part ownership in the Kiki female. They bought part ownership in the Kiki female. So that is a partnership between Satterfield Ranch and D-Bar Ranch. The breeder was O.W. Schneider. The owner, I think it says the owner is Satterfield Ranch, but I have a feeling it has something to do with D-Bar too. So again, shout outs. Those are some of our fave breeders. Actually, we love all our breeders. Shouting out to give them a little bit of love. And we are now in class 22. We have this class, class 22, and then we move to class 23, and we are a wrap. We will be a wrap, and all we will have left will be those championship drives. So 2 more classes and then championship drive.
No, second to the last class.
Yep, exactly. This is 22, class 22, next to last class of the day. So thank you, Connie and Bill Nettles of 4N. We sure miss you guys, but we know that you guys are staying safe, and we hope to see you soon. So Connie and Bill Nettles, they're not here in the house with us, but they are always in our hearts, and they are watching from home. So we are really glad. 4N is going to be having a sale with us soon on Best Cattle Sales. I think it's in April. I think it's like that. Ron, isn't it like around Easter, don't you think? Yeah, it is. It's Easter, so yes, absolutely. And guys, don't forget, we're going to start like really flooding our Instagram page with some of these most phenomenal photos that the girls have taken. I just think they're amazing. So we'll be doing that probably tomorrow, and also with the bull. I'm thinking maybe Miss Casey could help us pull some of those great photos and watermark them and get them up there on our Instagram, because I can't tell you how great they are. And then we will be sharing all of those photos onto our Facebook so you guys can see them and share them yourselves. Right now we're trying to keep our Facebook a little clean so people can just go there and get that video. So again, all the class winners and champions, might want to add an M in there on the champions. It's been a long day. Long day. So anyway, all of the winners and class champions, all the class winners and champions, champions has an M in there, are going up in real time, and I myself am just a touch on the tired side. So that was probably me that had that little typo. I'm hoping one of my team members can fix that for me, because I'm just getting a little happy here. Happy that we are getting close to being done. The house is packed. The crowd is amazing. Really, so many people are here from so many different countries. I know that the bull show tomorrow will be super exciting. The bull show will go much quicker, people, okay, because we have fewer bulls, but we do have to split the arena with someone. So picky, yeah, that's right. Oh, righty, thank you so much. So we are good, and Miss Casey is back there. Hey, Miss Casey, have you seen some of those Instagram photos? Are they not amazing? So here's what we're gonna do. We're thinking that you could help us tomorrow. I know you're doing nothing, eating bonbons all day back there at the booth and drinking a little tequila, but they have taken so many amazing photos. I'm thinking we could Instagram photos from today, tomorrow. That'll be great. Let's listen to the judge.
Wins this class fairly easily in my mind. Not only does she give us a nice breed character in terms of hump placement and pigmentation, a female that brings us a nice designed udder. Not quite as even as it would be ideal, but it still has a nice udder, a four udder attachment, rear udder attachment, nice refined teats, and she's got a nice bloomy calf that she's raising on her side. You set her into motion, she probably ducks in her pins and gets up under herself just a little bit, but there's a lot of function in that cow, and I think she can last for a pretty good while because of that udder quality and her milking ability. Next one we've got is one that's a little more complete, one that's complete. She's really nice and feminine. She's not the most impressive in terms of overall eye appeal, but she's a really nice cow. She's got lots of capacity. She's really nice in her shoulder design, probably gets a little plainer up front. I'd sure like to maybe even her up in her front quarters just a little bit too. She wants to get a little heavy on that right teat on the front side, but she's doing a nice job with the calf that she's got. Then we've got the bred one that's coming, that's starting to spring up a little bit, and probably sure like to see her a little bit farther along as compared to the two ahead of her, but she's got some length to her. She probably gets up in her hip just a little bit as we compare to her, but she's really nice in the design of her shoulder and the way she brings that head out of her shoulder, and I like that length of body. The one we've got next, a cow that I'd like to see travel around the ring just a little better when you put her into motion. I do like the teat design of this cow. However, I would like to make her a little stronger in her fore udder attachment so she doesn't lose the floor of that udder as time goes on. But main thing is she's got a nice calf. I'd like to see her travel just a little smoother. Then we've got this next one here that's a really nice, eye-appealing one. She's really nicely designed. She's got nice bone. I like the moderation of frame, but we've sure got to fix that udder quality, because we got to even that udder up, and to make her go any further, maybe give her a little more milking ability. Then we round out the class with some heifers that probably are a little off in terms of their overall balance, and I'd sure like to see them farther along in calf.
And we thank you very much for the overview here of our placings in Class 22. Taking the blue ribbon is 841, entry by Jana Wall of Wharton, Texas. Second in the class to 1019 comes to us from England Cattle Company of Mercedes, showing for Montana Lynn Tapp. Our third place to 1129. Schulte Cattle Company, owner and exhibitor of Brenham, Texas. Fourth goes to 1168. Pine Bluff Ranch, showing for Bella Briggs of Brownsboro, Texas. Your fifth place award to 1274, entry from V8 Ranch of Bowling, Texas. Sixth in the class to 842. Joyce Custom Fitters, showing for Callie Kreff, Wharton. Our second is to 1057. Rich Cattle Company, Bob Rich, the owner, Prague, Oklahoma. Eighth
Got
going
it.
to
Okay. So in first place in that class, we had Lady Bardi Tula 122, and she is a Mr. H. Vega Manso daughter out of the very famous Lady H. Eva Manso. And in second, we had the Bullseye Ranch entry. That's going to be Miss B.E.R. Carly 667. And Brandy Barnes was showing that one. Brandy Barnes was showing her. We don't have some of the information on her, but we will get that, and we will make sure you guys know how she's bred. Now, we are on our very last class, guys, of the show. Okay, that was 1019. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I think we had something wrong here. Oh, that was class 21s. Okay, I gotcha. Wait, we're getting all confused, guys. Second in class of class number 21, was that the... Okay, so confused. No, I think we have that wrong. I think we have... Miss Mandy, can you look into the second place, class 21? I don't think that what we have up on the comments is correct. I thought it was... Okay, that's on the class 22. Can you tell me who was... I think we have second in class in our comments on class number 21. I think we have that one wrong. So anyway, if somebody could check on that, see, maybe take that post down and put it back up and get it right. I thought I had the Paradise Island animal was second. So there we go. All right, I'm going to make a little phone call, and there we go. Let's go to music. We figured out what we did. We had like a little bobo, but second in class, I'm so sorry, second in class was the ECC. That was the ECC Polled Cajun Queen 281/9, and that is going to be an LMC Polled Authority daughter out of D-Bar Miss 816/1. So that was who was second in class 22. We are on our final class, guys, our very final class, and we are coming down the home stretch. And we will see what we've got. This is our last class of the gray females. last class of gray females. I do believe, yes, we have Miss LPC 101. We are big fans of Miss LPC 101. She did really fabulous in Dixie. She is just absolutely beautiful. Did really great at San Antonio. So she is the one closest to us right here. And again, we can't say thank you enough to Little Pecan Cattle. Thank you for doing all that you do to support us and help us be here in the live stream. So we have Grace McCall, along with Brandy Barnes. They're in the ring holding that cow-calf pair. So go little Miss LPC 101. So right now we have three, nope. We're still working through and sorting through the cattle. So it'll be a little while, we're getting close. And we have a Magic Ranch entry from what I heard from Miss Emily. Emily Otto was saying good luck, Maddie and Jose. So let's see. That she is wishing luck to Magic Lady 235/9, which is a Mr. Plus S Grant Manso daughter out of Magic Wanda. And she is a little further back in the lineup, but looking good. All of these cow-calf pairs just look really tremendous. Love this calf on the side of Miss LPC. Of course, there's the Hudgens that looks just great in that second spot right now. Of course, they're not in the spots of where the judge is placing them. That's just where they are in the lineup. I see HM Cattle is in the ring. We have Joyce Custom Fitters. And now we are down to two. Okay, we have a first and second. Congratulations.
Really impressive cow-calf pair. This class, not only heavier muscled females in the class, she's also got one of the best udders and the bloomiest calves. So she's sound, she's good uddered, she's bred, she passed those 3 check marks. But not only that, and you step off the side of her, she's pretty attractive. She's got lots and lots of breed character. I love that about her. If I could change one thing about her, maybe level her out of her hip just a little bit. I appreciate a little bit of slope, but not quite that much, but that's a nice one. She's got a lot of good things going for her, but I love that Brahman breed character. Congratulations to you. The one that next closest follows her is the one that I have in second. Really nice and complete, really nice in her joints and her angles, really feminine. She does a nice job with the calf that she has on her side, probably in comparison to the one ahead of her, maybe even up the front end of her udder just a little bit. And but other than that, I think she's a pretty complete one. Probably not the overall capacity and power as our class winner, but that's a pretty nice one. Then we've got the next one that's coming along, young lady's heifer that's doing a cow that's doing a nice job. Got a pretty nice udder, one that gets a little bit, probably a little shorter up front as compared to the 2 ahead of her. Probably not quite as an attractive head and neck about her, but she's doing a nice job with a good udder, and you appreciate that about her. Then we got a really smooth one coming next. probably carrying a little extra condition, but she's functional. She's sound in her udder. As she goes into motion, she doesn't move as freely off of her front end as you would like to see her. Maybe tone her down in the condition a little bit, free her up in her front end a little bit, and she could rise on in this class higher. But she's a nice when you get her stopped and looked at her. Then we've got round out with some cows that probably get a little more uneven in their udder, probably not quite as heavy milkers, maybe not quite as powerful as some of them ahead of them.
And we thank you for the overview and placings here in 23,
Alrighty.
taking the blue.
We have winning this class is the JDH Lady Liberty Manso 162. She's going to be a JDH Mr. Amos Manso daughter out of JDH Miss Felicia Manso. Of course, that is Hudgens all the way, and actually owned by a young Hudgens, Corbin Hudgens. And then in second, we have Magic Ranch's Magic Lady 235/9. That's a really big deal. It's very, very exciting for any breeder to be able to be placed in this class, so that is super cool. And that is going to be Magic Ranch Land and Cattle. That is a Mr. Plus S Grant Manso, which of course is that Schneider Brahmins, and then Magic Wanda, and it is owned by Madeline. I'm just going to go with Maddie. It's owned by Maddie Gitlitz and shown with Magic Ranch's help there with Jose Vega on the stick on the calf. So congratulations, guy. We're now moving into that championship drive for the senior. This is the senior drive on the Reds. Senior drive on the Reds. So coming in the arena, we have Walters Blake Rojo. Then coming in that second class, we have the SRS Miss Diva 247. That's Pasquale on the stick. And then in that third class, we have the Herzog Cattle. Herzog Cattle is walking in on that third class. And in the fourth class, we have the Miss V.F. Ray Jude. Coming in for reserve consideration, starting with that first class, we have that Paradise Islands Miss Trixie. Then we go to the LB Lady Vivian Manso. Then we move along to the CT Miss Red Bean, and then the Dietering Red Brahmins. So here we are coming into the Red Championship Drive, Red Senior Champion Drive.
Buffalo Bayou Brahmins with Miss V.F. Ray Jude. Also up for consideration in Celia. Class 20, your second was entry 1615, Paradise Islands of Capital, Louisiana, with Paradise Islands Miss Davina. Class 21, your second was entry 1461, Lindsay. And with LB Lady N40, Vivian Manso 983/4. Class 22, your second was entry 1381, Scanlon Cattle Company with CT Miss Red Bean 13/9 in Wortham, Texas. And Class 23, your second was entry 1480, Dietering Brothers Cattle Company with DB Southern Style 1/654 out of Hempstead. Ladies and gentlemen, please give these entries a big round of applause for a fantastic job.
Nice lineup in the senior division. The heifer out of the first class got a lot of power to her. Nice red Brahman breed character. You like that shape down her top when you get up on top of her and you stand in behind her. She maintains the width all the way to the ground. Probably not quite as feminine as some of the other heifers in the lineup, but she's still got a lot of power and good in her. The next one we've got here probably leads the race in terms of overall Brahman breed character. I love that about her. I love her capacity. She probably gets a little waistier underneath. I'd like to tighten her up in her navel a little bit, maybe even her up in her udder that she's starting to make there. Then we've got one that's probably not as extended as any of the other cattle in here. She gets a little shorter up front, maybe a little shorter coupled, but she's got the best udder, she's the heaviest milker, and she's still pretty functional. I like her. Next one we've got here, a real complete one that's got plenty of muscle. I think she's moderate in her frame size. I like the udder quality. Might like to have that, dress that calf up just a little bit, but in terms of combining breed character, overall muscle mass and moderation of frame, and putting it together with a good udder, she's going to be your senior champion today.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Entry 1574, Miss V.F. Ray Jude of Buffalo Bayou Brahmins is your champion in the senior division. We're leading up entry 1480 for reserve consideration.
Another really nice female that's got a lot of capacity and red Brahman breed character. I'd like to dress her udder up just a little bit. The one that suits me next best in terms of overall functionality, udder design, and longevity of future is, I think it's going to be this one right here. She's going to be your reserve senior champion. Congratulations.
And coming out of class 22, that's entry number 1605. Hers
Out of the oldest class. Senior champion is going to be out of our oldest class, so that is our senior champion. Of course, she'll be coming back for reserve consideration. Coming back for grand champion. That's going to be the Miss V.F. Ray. And then in reserve champion,
This brings us to our senior division
what?
drive here
Was
in
Herzog.
the
The Herzog entry was reserve senior champion with the Herzog. The Herzog entry was reserve senior champion. So reserve is going to be out of class number 22. That's going to be the Miss H.C. Vera. So absolutely, we're done with the seniors in the reds. We're getting ready to move into the grays. Getting ready to move into the grays.
VA Ranch, Bowling, Texas. Their female, Miss VA, 255 over 9. Representing class 21 was entry 1102.
Now we're moving in with the grays. Do we have him on or me? Let's do him.
SNS Key 15 over 9. Representing class 22, we had entry 841 coming to us from JCF, owned by Jana Wall, Wharton, Texas. The female known as Lady Bardi Tula 122. And from our final class, 23, entry number 782 from J.D. Hudgens Incorporated of Hungerford, Texas. Their female, JDH Lady Liberty Manso 162. We also have in the arena our second place from those classes. They'll be called in the event they're needed for consideration for the reserve honors. And representing class 20, your second place there was entry 1272 from V8 Ranch of Bowling, Texas. The female Miss V8 251 over 9. Second out of class 21 was 769 from Paradise Island of Kaplan, Louisiana. That female Miss Hannah. Second place out of class 22 comes to us from England Cattle Company of Mercedes and their female ECC Pole Cajun Queen 281 over 9. And the second place out of class 23 was 1179 from Magic Valley Land and Cattle, New Waverly, Texas, the female Miss Magic Lady 235 over 9. Give them all a big round of applause, your senior division lineup.
Feel like we've got a nice functional set of females out here, just like in that red group. And of course, there's a little bit of variation between them. The heifer we've got up front, really feminine. You really appreciate that about her. She's really open and got a lot of arch and shape there to the top part of her rib coming out of her spine. Really nice breed character about that heifer in terms of hump placement. I might like to darken her nose just a little bit, maybe spread her out up front just a little bit. She wants to get a little close up in her front knees. Heifer we've got next, really like the added extension that she brings to us, and she just gives us a little more power. Thinks we got some more muscle shape. I think we're fuller and more open there in her hip, and I think a female that's starting to build a pretty nice udder, and I like those things about her. Female we've got next, probably one of the two more frailer ones in the lineup, but boy, she's raising a nice, fat, bloomy calf and doing a lot of good things. Probably gets up under herself just a little bit, but you like the femininity that she brings and that milking ability she brings in that good quality calf. Then we round out the senior division with a high volume, high powered female that's got a whole bunch of just Brahman qualities. I think this female is super in terms of overall breed character. Not only that, she matches it with some added width from behind, and she maintains that femininity. If I'm going to pick on her just a hair, I'd like to tilt her pins up just ever so slightly. Not board level, just a little more than what they are now, but she's functional enough for me. I like her, and I like her breed character, and that calf, she's going to be your senior champion. Congratulations.
And ladies and gentlemen, senior goes to the winner of Class 23, J.D. Hutchins Incorporated, Hungerford, Texas, with their female, Lady Liberty Manso, 162. We'll move up entry 1179 for reserve consideration.
Coming in for reserve consideration, we've got another really nice functional one. She's got a nice bloomy calf on her, but in my mind, the one that follows my senior champion the best is going to come out of this second class up here. She's going to be your reserve senior champion female. Congratulations.
And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Class 21 taking reserve honors here, that's entry 1102, owned jointly by Satterfield Ranch and D-Bar Ranch, Palestine, Texas, a female known as Miss SNS Kiki 15/9. Congratulations to our senior division winners here in the Gray Show. And we'll be lining up for our Grand Champion Female Drive. We have a special presentation before that takes place. And we'll turn it over to Dr. Joe Moss.
Okay, at this time we're going to present our 2021 Premier Show Female of the Year. I'd like to invite K-Bar C Cattle and V8 Ranch to come out at this time. We're going to start, since we've been showing red cattle first, and I know this group might have one in the champion drive, maybe, I'm not sure, but we're going to start with reds and then we'll do the grays. For your 2021 Premier Show Female of the Year goes to KF Miss Rita Rojo, 134, owned by K-Bar Farms. Carolyn Cass Fogoat, owner of K-Bar Farms, is no stranger to winning the ABBA Premier Show Animal Award. This is the 7th time a K-Bar animal has received this ABBA honor, making Carolyn once again the breeder of the most premier show animals. In addition to winning this honor in 2021, KF Miss Rita Rojo, 134, a repeat Rita, as she is fondly known by her fans, won Miss Brahman of the World, Miss Brahman North America, and grand champions at both ABBA International Show as well as the ABBA National Show. With 24 champions and reserve champions, Rita has certainly brought home the banners during her show career for Miss Carolyn and K-Bar Farms. Just some of her highlights was the International Grand Champion Female last year in Waco, the 2021 National Show Champion Female, the Cattlemen's Congress Grand Champion Female in Oklahoma City, and the ABBA Winter Classic Champion Female. At this time, put your hands together for the breeder of the 2021 Premier Show Female of the Year for the Red Division. At this time, we'll bring the breeder of the gray show female of the year out. The 2021 Premier Show Female of the Year in the Gray Division goes to V8 Ranch with Miss V8 62 over 9. This will be the second time since 1999 when the ABBA Premier Show Animal Award started, and that the V8 female will bring this honor back to the ranch. In 2010, Miss V8 954 over 6 at JDH Sir Avery Manso 159 over 7. Daughter, owned by V8 Ranch, took home the Premier Gray Female. V8 Ranch's 2021 winner, Miss V8 62 over 9, also has Avery in her pedigree, as she is a great-granddaughter of Avery on her dam side. Her dam is Miss V8 293 over 8, a daughter of Mr. V8 380 over 6, the machine. She was the 2016 National Champion Female and is a maternal half-sister to Mr. V8 146 over 8, better known as Sloan, as both are out of Miss V8 8 over 5 over 6. Some of the major championships that Miss V8 62 over 9 had in 21 was the ABBA Winter Classic Grand Champion Female, ABBA New Year's Bash Reserve Champion Female, Washington County Junior Champion Female, and the Louisiana Sugar Classic Reserve Junior Champion Female. The 2021 Premier Gray Show Female of the Year goes to Miss V8 62 over 9, owned by V8 Ranch.
Congratulations to these special award winners. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be lining up for our Grand Champion Female Drive here in just a moment with our Red Division champions coming in first. And we'll turn the microphone over to Mr. Cooper for introduction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's set up your entries here for your Grand Championship Drive in the Red Brahman Division. Your cap champion was entry 1685, Merino Miss Lady Riash, 192 over 3, Merino Ranch, your owners. Your intermediate champion was entry 1691, Merino Miss Lady Richie Mia, 868 over 2 from Merino Ranch. Your junior champion was entry 1630, Paradise Island's Miss Cynthia. Paradise Island's exhibiting Raywood Drake Carland of Kaplan, Louisiana, the owner. Senior champion was entry 1574, Buffalo Bayou Brahmans with Miss VF Ray Jude, Welsh, Louisiana. Up for reserve grand consideration this evening. Your calf reserve is entry 1730, PCC Ray of Hope. 11 over 1, Phillip Cattle Company of Palestine, Texas is your owner. Intermediate reserve was entry 1871, Walters Juliet Rojo, Walters Livestock of Brenham. Your junior reserve was entry 1559 with Paradise Island's Miss Kellyanne, Greta Forstier of Crowley, Texas, your owner. And your senior reserve was entry 1605, Herzog Cattle Company with Miss H.C. Verda 110 over 9 of Chilton, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please give all these entries a big round of applause for a fantastic job today in our Red Brahman show.
As this grand champion lineup of red Brahman females comes together, I think they look just like that. I think they look like red Brahman females. They've got excellent breed character, all 4 divisions. They've got plenty of pigment. I think they've got plenty of femininity. I think they've got enough traits to them that would aid in longevity, in being sound, good uddered. From what we can tell on these younger ones, they look to be more refined in their teats. I think there's a lot of good in all 4 of these heifers. The one that we start out with in the calf division, you love the length and extension, not only from her shoulder back, but from her shoulder forward. Love the femininity, love the balance. That's a really nice heifer. One we've got next, really big topped. She's got a lot of loin shape. You get in behind her and she's got some pin shape. She probably just gets a little bit shorter coupled as we compare her to the heifers on either side of her. And sure probably like to fix that a little bit. But other than that, I think she's a pretty nice one. One we've got out of the 3rd division is a pretty nice one, and she combines a lot of good things. She's open there in the center portion of her body. She's nicely balanced. She's big ribbed. She's strong topped. Just the right amount of slope to her rump. And boy, she just puts a lot of nice things together in a sound package as she gets out and travels. Then we round out the senior division with the real nice uddered female that was really functional in her joints, really nice in her design. Probably like to just power that calf up just a hair, but I think she puts a lot of good pieces together. I'm going to go and pick the grand champion female, the one that suits me, and we'll see. Hopefully you will agree, but she's the one that hits me the hardest today, and that's the one I'm going to pick.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your grand champion female coming out of your junior division entry 1613. That's Paradise Island's Miss Cynthia. Congratulations, Rayward Carlin, Paradise Islands of Kaplan, Louisiana. We're going to lead up entry 1559 for reserve consideration.
In my mind, there's only one heifer in this lineup that matches her as closely as I would like to, and they pair up exceptionally well, and that's going to be the heifer that follows her in division. Congratulations.
And there it is, entry number 1559. That's Paradise Island's Miss Kellyanne. Greta Fostier of Crowley, Texas, your owner exhibitor. Congratulations to all these entries again. We'd also like to thank Brahman associations for some special awards from these following associations: the association in Paraguay, Mexico, and Colombia. I'm going to take a few pictures here, and then Harvey will take you on for the Gray Brahman Grand Drive.
Representatives that are here from countries of Paraguay, Mexico, and Colombia for making these special awards available, in addition to those being given out by the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And we'll be lining up shortly here for your Gray Grand Champion Drive. gray females from each of our 4 divisions coming in.
Llegas y arreglas todo en un ratito. ¿Qué hiciste con eso? Ya no me hablaste. Oye, ¿cómo quedó el carro?
And ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to begin now with our Gray Grand Champion Drive. And we'll be moving in our Calf Division Champion. That was entry 664 from Heritage Cattle Company, Hungerford, Texas. Their female, Lady H. Lisa Manso. And our Intermediate Division Champion, represented by entry 1220, Mark Tummelson of Tummelson Farms of Angleton, Texas, with their female, Lady Cashmere. Representing your Junior Division Champion, that was entry 654, also from Heritage Cattle Company of Hungerford, their female, Lady H. Stella Manso, 351/0. And representing your Senior Division, that was entry 782 from J.D. Hudgens Incorporated of Hungerford, Texas, the female, JDH Lady Liberty Manso, 162. And we're also bringing in our Reserve Division winners from the Calf Division. Standing by in the case it's needed is a entry 1136, Gracie Lambright of Danbury, Texas, with her female, Miss Lisa Marine. Our division In the reserve in the intermediate division was entry 1093, J. Lee Rushing, Santa Fe, Texas, with Miss SCC Schulte, Apple 268 over 0. Representing our junior division, the reserve there, 1207 from Magnolia Trace Farms of Iowa, Louisiana, and their female Miss MTF Gamela 4. And from our senior division, the reserve of that division was entry 1102, Satterfield Ranch and D-Bar Ranch, joint owners, Palestine, Texas, of Miss SNS Kiki 15 over 9. Give them all a big round of applause. Your great champion drive, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been a lifelong dream of mine to be able to stand here and do this, and I can't tell you how honored and privileged I am to have been selected by my peers to be able to evaluate these cattle. The only thing I can do is pick them the way I like them, and I feel like that's what I've done today. But they've got to be sound, they've got to be good uddered, they've got to be fairly moderate in their frame size for my taste, but they've got to look like a Brahman. I like breed character. I like length of body and muscle. And I think all 4 of these heifers out here combine all of those traits, and they do a really nice job. Some a little better than others. Heifer we've got up front, you really like her. She's a real nice package. She's got muscle. She's got capacity. She's sound enough. I love the breed character about her. Next heifer we've got probably doesn't have the overall depth of rib that the 2 heifers on either side of her have, but she's really nice in her design. I like the angle to her skeleton and the length of top that she has and that big, bold, expressive top that she has. The heifer we've got next, she's the square-made level one that's got that great big nice hump sitting on the top of her shoulder there. Probably if we want to compare her to the others in class and fix her a little bit, dress her up right there in her brisket ever so slightly. But I like the length of body, the length of hip that she has. Senior champion. Love the breed character on this one. Probably in this lineup, she's probably one of the shorter coupled females. Maybe gets a little more sloped in her rear rump, but she's got a lot of good in her. She's really nice in her joints. I love the udder. I love how bloomy that calf is. We can't forget how these maternal traits in these Brahmans. Brahmans are a maternal breed. We can't sacrifice those traits, but if we don't sacrifice those traits and we can still make them stout and we can still make them pretty, I'll take them like that all day long. I'm not going to give you a great big talk on integrity or anything. I'm going to go out here and pick the cattle just like you hired me to do. Thank you for having me.
And thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our judge, Wharton, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, your grand champion going to Heritage Cattle Company, Hungerford, Texas. Their female Lady H. Lisa Mansell coming out of your calf division. And we'll move up our reserve out of the calf. We'll stick with the lineup and we'll get us a reserve grand champion here shortly.
There's good in every one of these heifers. There's a few things you'd like to change about every one of those heifers, and it's trying to balance those traits and find the ones that suit you. I'm going to go pick the ones that suit me for your reserve grand champion female.
And ladies and gentlemen, the reserve grand honor is going to your junior champion, also from Heritage Cattle Company, female Lady H, Stella Manso, 351 over 0, taking the reserve grand honors. Congratulations to Heritage Cattle Company of Hungerford, Texas. And want to thank the special awards that are going to be presented by our friends from the Brahman associations in Paraguay, Mexico, and Colombia, as well as the awards from the Houston Livestock Show. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, we have our bull show taking place here on the west side of the arena. Invite all of you back. Thanks to all of you international visitors who've stuck with us in the grandstands all day. We greatly appreciate our online viewers from our live streaming from about 7, starting with the red first division of bulls, then moving to gray divisions and alternating throughout the bull show.
Thank you.